Hey everyone, today I'm going to explain Oniyoki's abilities because it might seem confusing to some people. So both her leader ability, Secret Recipe Beast Cuisine, and her first passive, Enjoy the Feast, only works when she uses her ultimate, and it gives the entire team the buff, Enjoy the Feast, but only one unit could get it after she uses it. So after she uses this, the next person that guards or attacks will get this buff, 100 attack power and basic attack power. It will then be removed from all other units, so it's best to use this on your attackers right after she uses her ultimate. Her second passive is not that good. It's just reduced damage for the next unit that takes action after she guards. So she guards and then you choose any unit to take action and that unit will take 20% less damage. So this is good for your squishy units when you're doing challenge maps, or if you mess up and they have like low HP, this could save them, but this is going to work for one unit as well. I don't think this passive is really that good because it really does nothing for you or her damage, because this is really just if you really need to guard a lot, and this could help you if you're a lower level, but once you're a higher level, this won't really matter much. And her third passive is it gives the second unit the ability to increase the target's damage from ultimate, and this ability is good, but at the same time it's kind of not that good. It's good that it increases ultimate damage, but at the same time it's not that good, because if you use her ultimate, the next person that goes after using her ultimate will get the 100 attack buff. So in the trial example, if you use ultimate with Oniyoiki first, and then you use Lotia's ultimate to debuff the boss to get that negative 100% ultimate, Lotia is going to get buffed 100% attack power, which seems like a good thing because she gets 100% attack power and then she shares everyone's attack with her buff. But when I used it that way, Mesmia does less damage to the boss, like 2.2 million. But then when you use Mesmia last, but you used everyone's ultimate first, and you use Oniyoki's ultimate and then Mesmia last, Mesmia does like 2.5 billion damage. So you're losing about a few 100 million damage if you're using Oniyoiki first and then Lotia's buff. You can test it out yourself in the trial, but there's no way to test the double damage that she would do if she was the leader, because you can't switch the units around when you're testing play. Oniyoki's ability is all over the place, but I think the best use of her is to use everyone's buff first and then use her ultimate and your attacker's ultimate last. She is used as the burst type ultimate damage dealer buffer type character. If you're going to stack ultimate damage and you want to take advantage of the third passive, then you would need to use someone like Summer Fiora and Mama Usagi. You have to be careful when using this unit, because if you have someone in slot 2 that doesn't scale off of attack like Emily or Lotia, and you have someone like Summer Fiora, when you use her ultimate and then you use Summer Fiora's ultimate because she's on slot 2, it's gonna do nothing for the team besides give this debuff. So you want to use someone like Lotia or Emily that can buff everyone in slot 2 that is not your damage dealer. you can put your damage dealer on slot 2 and pair it with Bright Ball and all that, but I don't think the debuff applies until after the ultimate hits, because in the trial version it looks like Lotia buffs and then debuffs the boss. So I think it's better to just have your supports on slot 2 and then activate the buff first, and then just ignore the ultimate, like, because if you use the ultimate first and then you use the buffer like Lotia to get this 100% damage, and then you use Mesmer's ultimate, it does less damage for some unknown reason. So her ability is just kind of weird, because like it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Because if you use the ultimate, the next unit that goes will get the 100% buff. So, and if you use it on slot 2, your attacker won't get the buff. But if you use her ultimate last, and then your attacker is not on slot 2, but you already attack with your other units, then the buff's gone, because your attack on slot 2 will get the attack buff and this third passive that debuffs the enemy. But then if you have a fifth attacker left, that after the second one attacks, the fifth attacker won't have the all the buffs, because it already went to the unit on slot 2. I think her abilities aren't that good unless I don't think this ability is good unless you're stacking ultimate damage. If you're just using it like what they're using in the trial, it's better to just use her and your Nuka last, because you do more damage that way. I think her second and third passive aren't that good, and even the first one is technically not that good, because she doesn't do all her abilities doesn't do anything unless she uses ultimate. And her buffs only last for like 1 and 2 turns, so that means she's really meant for like a burst type team, mainly for ultimates. I wouldn't recommend any beginners getting her, and the only reason to get her is if you're an experienced player or you know how to use this unit. This is for like end game SP dungeon 1 billion damage type damage dealer clears, which most people aren't going to get when they first start. So, and even if you decide you want to try to do that much damage, it's going to take you a long time, because you're going to need everything to be maxed out. And the trial version isn't a good example, because they are maxed out at bond 5 already, and most likely you're just going to have like a bond 1, 2, 3 if you even decide to summon for these units. So at level 1, her ultimate is only 30% more damage from wind and light, and then at bond 5 it's 50%, which is a bit more damage, but it's not a permanent debuff or buff, because this is usually for like trying to clear bosses in like turn 4, turn 8, turn 12, like really fast clears. Oniyoiki is mainly used to buff one unit, so if you want to buff someone like with slot restrictions, like let's say you want to buff someone on slot 5 and you want Emily on slot 4, and you want to bring Oniyoiki as leader, and then you want to put someone like Magica Jano or Sasha on slot 5, whatever team you're trying to make, like ultimate or hybrid basic, you could use her as to slot in as a any slot buffer. For example, if you want to buff slot 3 and you have Valentine's Ball and you want to do like a slot 3 nuker, you can use Valentine's Ball, and then you can use Oniyoiki because after her ultimate you could choose to use slot 3 as your attacker to go right after her, because that's how you choose who gets the buff. Once Oniyoiki uses her ultimate, you can choose anyone to take the next move to get the, her leader buffs and her first passive, and that's how you can stack damage and attack with 2 different units like Oniyoiki and Valentine's Ball. And if you also want, you can also use it for Wedding Ball and use her at the same time, and then stack the ultimates and buffs, and then make your slot 2 the nuker instead of slot 3. And then if you want slot 5 to be the nuker, then you need Emily, Oniyoiki, and then whoever's on slot 5. I would say this unit is okay for beginners, but it's not like a unit that you would just keep using ultimates randomly, because if you use like an ultimate and then later you have a healer like Bayless or Summer Fiora and you use ultimate next, it's just you're gonna see that your damage is just nothing's gonna happen when you use it like that. She is a powerful unit, but she is kind of a bit underwhelming to use. I would suggest that you skip these banners. And I think that's it. It's time for the pros and cons. If I missed anything, you can just leave it down in the comments below. Or if you still have any more questions.